All right, Capricorn, welcome to September. How are you? How is it going? There is just so much going on in this month of September. I will bring out a few themes for the astrology and talk about those with you as we go through this reading. Let's just see what the reading wants to show for us first. This is for Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus Capricorn. If you want to learn more about how to use astrology to expand your life, harness the energies that are coming through, I'm starting an astrology group course in October. All right. Link is below. Fundamentals, expansive, everything. Soulmate underneath. Transformation. Wow. Karmic path. Full moon. All right. So we have a full moon eclipse happening. Full moon eclipse happening this month. I don't know why I can't see that camera. Full moon eclipse happening this month in Pisces, in the sign of Pisces. And Pisces is about bringing to an end some kind of karmic path. Now, this is happening for everybody, not just specific to you, but there's definitely for you some kind of transformation of a karmic soulmate energy. So I want you to look back to 2023. I know it might be hard to kind of remember, but 2023 is when we first had Saturn move into the sign of Pisces. And now it's been in Aries this whole summer. It's going to go back into Pisces. So it's like wrapping up this cycle. It could be just a 2.5-year cycle, or it could be a 30-year cycle, because it takes 28 to 30 years. It takes to go around the entire zodiac. So it's in Pisces. And then we also have this full moon in Pisces, an eclipse. And full moons are about purging, letting go, releasing. This is a death of some kind of soulmate contract for you. Okay. And what's been happening this summer? What are the new beginnings starting to look like? What is that about? And then just be aware that this big shift in energy of Saturn going back into Pisces on September 1st is going to feel majorly different, right? Because Aries energy is like the start of things. It's, really taking some kind of action. Pisces is not that at all. Very, very different energy. Pisces, especially with Saturn in retrograde at the very tail end, the very karmic degrees of Pisces. This is like a review, almost like a life review that's happening. And for you, Capricorn, this can be about a relationship. All right. It could be about relationships very local, close to you, because it's in the third house for you. So it could be siblings, could be the end of some kind of sibling relationship, or the end of some kind of, like we got on like brothers, or like it doesn't have to be like DNA related people. But I really feel like there's some kind of spiritual tribe or spiritual family that you're going to be going toward. All right. So let's see. I'll talk more about the astrology periodically in the reading, but definitely in the extended. So that's what I'm going to do. High Priestess, Page of Cups. Here's the Emperor. That's Aries energy. The Page of Swords and the Magician. Wow. Okay. So I'm going to take that little Two of Swords too. So there's something here about not wanting to take in intuitive information. It's like the High Priestess, which is super powerful, little Page of Cups. This person is showing up in the world as a little Page of Cups, but they are a High Priestess. You may be showing up in the world as a Page of Swords, someone who communicates a lot, like a page, like running onto the stage in Shakespeare and saying, Sire, there's news from the kingdom, or, something like that. But like, you're the emperor. And so like, what are you doing? Talking for other people, almost like an actor, like you're talking for other people. There's other people's words. Like maybe it needs to be your words. Okay. Maybe it needs to be your words. Okay, that was weird. My little camera was like literally like a 16th of an inch off of where it normally is. And it was completely throwing me off. It was like I wasn't seeing myself, which is what I do when I do these videos for you. I feel like that's a message to you. There's something that's just a tiny bit off, like a click off, like you're in the right place. You're connected to the right person. Maybe you're not being authentic with that person. Maybe you're acting a role. There's something here about you writing your own play now. So whether it's actually writing a play, something you've always wanted to do, but it's like not responsible, right? Capricorn, like it's not responsible. There's also something here about you not really seeing your true authentic self enough, because if you're trying to manifest from a Page of Swords place, which is what everybody sees, but you're really an emperor, you might not see yourself as an emperor. And so you're manifesting from a much lower vibration than you really are authentically. I feel like this has to do with service. Like you're very much still serving other people, and it feels really selfish to serve, to do the work that you're here to do, because that would require you to stop doing some things that are draining your energy, right? Here's the Knight of Cups, Nine of Wands, the Queen of Pentacles. That's Capricorn energy. Let's see. Hanged Man, Knight of Swords. Got a lot of Page and Knight energy here. The Eight of Swords. The Sun. Wow, I like that. The Five of Swords. Three of Pentacles. I feel like you're trying to put a brave face on something. Okay, like you're trying to be like, go along to get along, and you're putting a brave face on something, because if you really let yourself kind of be yourself, you may, kind of hack everybody up. All right. You might really, I feel like you're doing the same pattern that you've always done, the same way of being. This feels very, for Capricorn, being consistent feels very good, right? And to change may make you feel out of sorts. This is the time to be kind of out of sorts, because when Saturn comes back into that Piscean, it's like not about structures. We've been talking a lot about Neptune and Saturn being conjunct or very closely together, and they're both going back into Pisces. And there's something here about dissolving the old structures. And the old structures for you have been a prison. Nine of Wands and the Eight of Swords, interference, and this is said to be strength. So the Nine of Wands can also be, hey, I take pride in my wounding. I got hash marks down to the ground. I've been, maybe there's like, I've been more wounded than anybody else, and I'm like the most special wounded person. That could be somebody in your life who does that. They don't have to be here on the planet. This could be a parent that's like, you have to serve me because, I've done so much for you, or something like that. There's definitely a childhood pattern here. And I feel like when you see it, like you're hanging upside down and feel like you have no power here, but actually seeing this pattern and starting to move, you might have a friend or a colleague or a love partner coming in who's really going to embrace or support. Maybe this is a person that you've known for a long time. They're going to embrace or support true, authentic Capricorn. And I mean, I feel like the words duty and service come to mind here. And I just feel like there's about to be a breakthrough of rage. That's the thing that's going to help you cut the marionette ties with the past. So whatever we're going back into Pisces for this September through next February, right? Saturn's going to be retrograde till November, then it's going to go direct and it'll go back into Aries. So whatever's going on here is the parting of the ways chapter of things, people, situations that you can't bring forward with you into Aries. That's a brand new cycle, a brand new chapter, a brand new 30-year cycle. And, it's kind of like the very last degrees of Pisces. Like Pisces is the very last sign of the zodiac. It's like you're running out of daylight here. You're running out of runway. You're going to either need to, if you're going to do what you want to do in this life, it is fish or cut bait time. This next 5 months is going to be very, very powerful. And it does feel, I'll go through a lot more of the astrology rather than just talk about Saturn, but we have quite a lot of, the Piscean energy just because of that eclipse, but we also have a lot of Virgo energy. We've got Mercury moving into Virgo, which is very much about your communication and what you're saying and anchoring it in reality. Another earth sign. You like that? Okay. It makes sense to you. I've got to walk my talk here. And if I am using someone else's words, if I am like being an actor in a play, and I don't mean that literally, I could mean some of you love that. Others of you are like, I'm parroting the words that I know I need to parrot in order to make this okay. Whatever that is. And as soon as you become authentic, boy, the gloves come off. Woo, woo, woo. The 5 of Swords. You can you can just be like cutting, very cutting. 5 of Swords, 8 of Swords, Prince of Swords, Page of Swords, 2 of Swords. I feel like you've not been doing that for a long time. And you may have told yourself that that's peace. Oh, I don't want to start anything. I don't want to, but I keep having to jam down my feelings. All right. And I feel like you kind of this is a breakthrough here. All right. This is definitely a breakthrough. We also, at the end of September 21st, 22nd, have a new moon in Virgo, the second one this late summer. And that second new moon in Virgo is at 29 degrees, which is another karmic degree that says, I'm going to need to either purge how I've been doing things, my day-to-day routines, in order to become my true self, or I'm going to just need to embrace something new. Like, you can look at it two ways, but either way, some things are changing here. Some big things are changing. What is this Queen of Pentacles? I mean, this could be you because, okay, 7 of Swords, Ace of Cups. Oops, sorry. 8 of Pentacles and the Star. So this could be about your work, or this could be about a love relationship that you have been, you've been acting with a mask on. And if you have been, wanting real, true love in your life, the only way to get to true love is to stop acting. Become really authentic. And Capricorn, you have that capability. You're ruled by Saturn, right? Which is why I'm talking so much about Saturn. You're ruled by Saturn, and you also have this karmic path. That karmic path card. So being ruled by Saturn means how we do things, rules and regulations matter a lot. And I feel like you were really believing that if I just held my tongue, if I just, I have a lot invested in being a certain like good girl or good boy. I have a lot invested in that. And if I kind of just come out of the closet, that I am like, hey, listen, y'all need to just get out of my way. I'm going for what I want. Then you're going to hear people calling you selfish. And that is the thing that keeps you in that closet. Okay. So what is this 5 of Swords down here? Nine of Swords, the Justice card, the Death card again, and the 7 of Pentacles. Wow. Okay. So this feels to me like anytime you do speak your mind, you really end up like clobbering people. Like you don't, oops, don't know my own strength. Nothing up my sleeve. Okay. You really don't know your own strength. And so you're balancing this, and then it becomes death, because it's like, oh, wow, I'm balancing this out. I didn't realize I was leaning so far over just to be accepted or just to be loved. I was leaning so far. So now there's this Ace of Cups, Eight of Pentacles. It says, I'm going to work on this. I'm going to work toward healing. Step number 1, stop lying. And I know that's a strong word, but stop with this performance art. Stop trying to be all things to all people. Stop. That is the first order of the day here. And we have transformation with that. Now, why is soulmate here? I do see 2 people. Why is soulmate here? 3 of Cups, friendships, 2 of Pentacles, Judgment. You're at a crossroads here with a soulmate. Tower, King of Pentacles, there you are, and the Queen of Wands. Aries, Leo, Sag, Libra, Scorpio. This person, you're at some kind of crossroads with a person. And in order to make it work or fail, like it can't be half-assed. You're going to need to really step into your authenticity. You can't continue this way. Okay. So I do feel that what happens suddenly is there's an opportunity to step in to your truth, to speak your truth. It may come off very harshly. I don't feel like you have a lot of practice at this, because you're doing this like Page of Swords routine where you're like, yeah, it's no big deal. I'll just keep doing it. And I'll just keep like, sucking it up and not saying my truth. And then when it comes out, it's like, it's just loud, like a lion. We've had Mercury in Leo for a long time. Mercury is going to move into Virgo early this month in September. And, I kind of like that. I mean, Mercury is ruled by Virgo, or Virgo is ruled by Mercury. And so there's a simpatico, a comfortability, a comfortability quotient there, right? That Mercury kind of gets it, kind of loves this very precise way of doing things. I just feel like it's going to be too much for you. I feel like it's going to, you're like, if I'm going to have happiness, I'm really getting the sense of something running out of runway. I don't know if it's an opportunity, like a person's leaving town. You got pressure on you to say what you're going to say, something like that. Okay. And there is an opportunity here for really beautiful coexistence and to work together and everything like that. But I am feeling that, it's going to be a big, like, unveiling, a big unmasking. Do you know how much you have been kind of holding it all inside? What about this Knight of Swords, this anger, fast movement, Ace of Swords. Okay, it's even bigger than I thought. 10 of Pentacles, the King of Cups. Wow, that's beautiful. And the 6 of Cups. Okay. What is going on, Capricorn? There's a person, if you just spoke up, this would be your person. You're going to have to say the truth. You're going to have to say the truth. That's the only way forward. There may be some kind of opportunity that kind of blows up in your face. It looks bad, but it's like, go with it. Don't cycle back into the old pattern. All right. This person needs to hear you say your truth. And I feel like this is your person. All right. I feel like this is your person. All right. Let's keep going. I want to see what happens with this. Link is below, Capricorn. See you over there. All right. I hope you enjoyed that video. If it was helpful to you, please consider liking this video and sharing it with anybody who might have a need for similar kind of information. And if you like this video, check out these videos.